Oh, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's flipping cold out there in the UK. Welcome to Monday night's Plastic Crack Podcast. It's season 6, episode 38. Only about 5 weeks till Christmas or something stupid. Oh dear. Welcome everyone to Monday night's Plastic Crack Podcast. Can't even say it now, but thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. We're going to have a chat about how traditional you are in your gaming habits, how much you sort of prepared to embrace new things, and or whether a bit like me, you go, I don't like it, first of all, before you've tried anything, just like a teenage kid would do with the greens. Oh, no, I don't like it. And then they try it. Oh, that's all right. So we'll get onto that in due course. Thank you to everyone watching on the catch up as always, and also those listening in on Spotify when I put that up each week. So appreciate it. Hello chaps, how are we doing?
All right, it's been so long since I've seen you, Dom.
I know, it's been forever.
Yeah,
it feels like forever.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right, just chilly.
Are you feeling better, Steve?
Getting there. It's 4 weeks now.
4 weeks. Gee,
4 weeks. It's just more. It's more this annoying cough than anything. The actual illness is gone. So yeah, I'm good. All good. It's not actually that cold around here.
Is it not?
No.
It's flipping brassic here. Jesus,
we had a storm on Friday. Well, a bit of Friday. But apart from that, no, it's not been cold at all. Not I don't feel it anyway. So
the whole of Friday was a storm for me. I was traveling in it. It just followed me all the way to Dom's house.
Yeah, Martin came down here in a yacht. I think that was the
yeah. I was driving at midday, and it was like driving at midnight. It was so dark. It was ridiculous. And I've been on the M25. It was like wacky races.
I did feel for you. I thought, oh my Lord, that's going to be a horrible journey down. Yeah. Anyway, we had a good odd evening, didn't we? And a good day the next day at Farnborough.
Yeah, we did. Had a lovely weekend. It's kind of rubbish to go back to work today, to be honest. So I worked at home, and I didn't get distracted by all the shiny things that I bought much.
Don't believe you. Don't believe you at all. Yeah, we had a good old time. Went to Warfare in Farnborough. Met a lot of you there, so hello to everyone we saw. Actually, it was one of those shows. Actually, Steve, it was amazing. We were walking around, and literally every 10 minutes, we're bumping into somebody and having a chat with them. Like, it was really, really nice.
One of them was Ken,
and one of them was even Ken. Yeah,
blimey, Ken in the wild.
He was there for about 10 minutes, though, and then he.
Oh, right.
I mean, he looked tired.
Then the shepherd's crook grabbed him and pulled him back to mothership.
He was a tired boy. He bought the Spectre Aftermath rules, and then just melted into the background like Homer into the hedge.
Oh dear. Right, let's have a look at who's in the chat tonight. I saw a lot of familiar faces. We've got Pat calling in from cold but fine southeast London. Well, fine. You can tell it's fine. It's just bloody dark and cold out there from here. David's here. Good evening from crisp and chilly Loch Lomond. Hoping everyone's tucked up nice and cozy for tonight's stream. I had to put the heater on in here because it's flipping cold. Rock and Mall, hello mate, how you doing? Good to see you at Warfare. And a similar northeast London, Essex, he says. Paul's here as well. Oh, let's get the update from Paul. Hello from Mercia, where autumn dries its last tears on a mournful sun, and a cold and bitter winter watches and waits in the own dark shadow. Huguenot arquebus for me tonight.
He wrote more in that comment tonight than George R.R. Martin has written of his next book in the last 11 years.
Do you know we should do a book of Paul's weather forecast updates if we can go back through them all.
Yeah, remember on the fast show we had Jesse's diet.
We
should have Paul's weather.
I think we should. would be a definite winner. Don's here. Hello, mate. It's even cold in Ohio. Blimey. Cold but sunny, he says. Aled's here. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. Hope you're well.
M is here. Mobile on Hostile. Mark Riding is here. Nick Dawson. Hello, mate. Good to see you on Saturday as well. Mortskin. I can never say that one. Is here. Hello. Dynamo. Hello. Dynamo Miniatures. He says, evening, everyone. Joining live today for the first time in a while.
Hey.
We'll expect your note of where you've been for teacher. That's all I'm going to say. James is here. Hello, mate. What's he doing? Good evening. All from a very cold lead belt. Tonight, I'm mostly sitting by the radiator and painting War of the Roses. Or actually, he said War of the Osies. I presume he meant roses. John Sowerby. Hello, mate. Benjamin. Good evening, sir. Eccentric Man. Hello, Ken. Good to see you.
Ken.
Craig, good evening from a cloudy and windy spring day in Tasmania, Australia. Trying to paint some epic British Napoleon artillery. If the blinking kitten will give me the space. Wargames History, hello, mate. Neil's here. Adam's here. Camberwell Johnny, good evening, sir. Crusty Colonel Wargaming Show, good evening. Hello, it's getting cold. A bit of kit before Turnip 28 to keep me warm. Oh my good. Alex is here. Good evening, sir. Richard Hawes. Hello, mate. Graham. Hello, Graham. How you doing, buddy? Painting
Graham.
French command. Okay, good stuff. David Kerr. Good evening. Major Clanger. Nathan's here. Grand Prego. Hello, Anthony. Robert is here. Old School FRP. Andy Stocker. Lionheart. Nick Games. Furby Viking. James is here. Hello, Shakers and Sprue. Good to see you. Alec, hello, mate. Good to see your little spin around the Warfare show on video this morning. One from Portugal. Good evening, mate. Good to see you again. Who else we got? Dermot, Joseph, CJ Wargaming. Good evening, chaps. He says. Lazy Pirates here. Gunny Highway is here. That's a good name. I like that one.
That's from what's the film? It's a Clint film. Gunny Highway.
It is.
Oh God,
I forget which one it is as well.
What's it called? Oh, that's going to really irritate me. Hang on. Someone will say it. Is someone going to say it in the comments before I can?
Cheers from another traitorous colonial. Cheers from another traitorous colonial from across
Heartbreak Ridge. Heartbreak Ridge.
Oh, of course it was. Yes, Lion's Heart's here. Red Steph, hello. Good evening. Mark Brooks, hello. I think I've got everyone here. Kurt, hello. Good to see you too, mate. The real Steve's here. That was what I was waiting for. It's okay.
We can start. We can start now. We
can start. All good. Frank's Miniatures. Ewok is here. Double Dip. Hello, mate. Mini Walmart. Crikey, there's lots of people. Valley Boys, New Zealand. Cardboard Fortress. Good evening. Dynamo says he's Canadian, which is why he's the first time listening. He has to listen in secret while he's supposed to be working.
I think we need to answer a question, Dom, before we go any further.
What's that, mate?
As Ewok Kebab has asked, is the picture very small for anyone else? And I think we know he's got a little. I think that might be down to StreamYard presented.
So StreamYard presented another option when we were setting it up. You could do it in vertical format and horizontal format. And I thought, well, I'll try it. And so if you're seeing it on the small version, go and find the other version because it's done on.
And because we don't know how to turn it off.
We don't know how to turn it off. No,
we don't know how to change the bulb.
Oh, God.
But there's a little picture. I think there's a little picture next to the people who are watching it vertical. There's like a little.
Is it? Oh yes, I can see. Yes.
So
Andrew's looking at it that way. Yeah,
if that's what that means. So old school FRP might be watching it vertical. I don't know. All I know is when it comes around to my week, I'm not pressing that button because just the setup has changed as well.
I've just checked one of the streams, and it looks it's all crushed and condensed.
Very, very odd. Yeah, it gave us. I think they're trying to get in with the Insta crowd on YouTube.
It's like Road Trooper. At least I can stop thinking my eyesight has got.
Yeah, go and find the other version because it's there somewhere. It really confused the hell out of me because when I went to look on YouTube to see whether the stream had been set up, there were two versions, and I had no idea which one was the right one. So apologies for that. We won't touch that button again. Right. Robin's here. He's just sorted it as well. Right. Let's get on with tonight. So what have you been up to? Steve, what have you been up to, buddy? Have you managed to get some painting done?
No. Well, yes, sort of, but I've not taken any photographs. I just barely done anything because I can't with the cough in it. It just ruins any hobby time that I've got. So it is feeling better today. I did a bit over the weekend, but I have finished. Tonight I'll be finishing a unit of archers for Baron's War, and I've got a unit of sergeants that I've finished as well. But hopefully these will be. I'll have some photographs out by the end of the week. It's been 5 weeks since I finished anything. 5 weeks since I.
You're on quite a roll as well, weren't you?
I know. I came back from CrackCon absolutely full of inspiration and ideas, and then it's been illness for a month. So not much in the way. But what I have painted, I've enjoyed so far. Tell you what, bloody excellent service from Wargames Atlantic with their shields. The shield decals.
Oh yeah.
I'm bugging if I'm painting my own. I ordered them on Friday morning. They turned up Tuesday morning, and they work really, really well. So, yeah, it looks quite good. But I've got to admit, I'm enjoying Baron's War, and I can't wait to start playing. It's going to be good.
Have you managed to persuade your buddy to have a game yet?
I'm working on it. I'm pretty sure he will. Okay. As far as tonight's topic goes, he's very much a traditionalist.
Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Martin? What have you been up to?
What
we got up to.
I came to see. I was about to say I came to see you. I've mostly my hobby is mostly been editing, and I'm still working on a few review sets of things that I'm just finishing off at the moment. So I haven't got anything finished particularly. But obviously it came down to warfare. I know you've got a couple of pictures of our game, so I'll let you put those up. But as I was talking about, I did obviously make a little purchase on when we were there within about 5 minutes of getting there. Well, it was really cheap. So I was there, and so I bought the new edition of Blood Bowl. As you can see here.
I said he tried to make out this was because his daughter has insisted he buy it, and I said right, and then
she absolutely did. Yeah, she 100% did, and look, there you go. There you go. So that was last night. So not only did I have to so I got back and I was sticking it together yesterday. It took me 2 hours to stick all of that together. I did think of you, Dom, at one point. I was like, this is again the thing. The GW models, they are arguably mostly really nice, and they hide the joins really well, and they're well engineered kits. But the sprues, when you haven't clipped anything off of them and you're looking just for one number out of 50 pieces on the sprue, is like I was never very good at Where's Wally, so I don't like stuff like that. So I just like to show you the sprue. So after you've done a few, it was all right. So no, I did all that because she was desperate to play it, like genuinely excited. So she took the Tomb Kings, and I was playing as the Bretonians, and we played the first part. First, I played for an hour and a half, just reminding myself of the rules, which came flooding back from the mid-90s. And she beat me 1-0. So look, there you go. She was I don't often, but she wanted a picture with her team. So there you go. There's they're really nice models. They're really, really, really nice models. Those ones. So I've got those to paint at some point. I picked up an extra team as well. And I've just been working on editing this ridiculous pillage video, which I think the raw footage, I think I said it was about 4 hours of raw footage from the game that me and Robin played a few weeks ago. And I've nearly finished editing it. And hang on, I can tell you, because I've got the editor open here. I was editing right up to the point stream started. I've got it at the moment down to 1 hour 40 from 4 hours of footage. So it's been a bit of a slog. So I'm hoping the next game we record, whatever it is, whether it's Pillage, Soldiers of Napoleon, or whatever, it'll just be I'm just going to go for something nice and simple, a simple scenario. What I did do though is obviously at Warfare, I got to try out a few games. I did get to take part in a couple of games. So Mark was, I'm sure people know, in the group who was running with Alex, who was running the World War One game at CrackCon. Him and his mates from the club, they put on a Soldiers of Napoleon Leipzig game. So he won part of Leipzig.
Damn good.
So yeah, it really did, and that he very kindly gave me. We sort of shared command for about an hour. I think I was there. And
what did you do?
Well, it's not really what I did. Most of it went well. It's just, of course, I was leaving, so I wasn't there for 2 days, and as attached to his troops as obviously he was. So if you look on that picture there, you can see the 2 units in line in the middle. So I was sort of doing something. That's his guard division, and those 2 units in line at the front. Well, I did it.
Hang on, before you say this, Steve, let's stay. You're a tactical genius on these sort of things. You're outnumbered by quite a lot, and you're sitting on a hill in a nice defensive position, backed up by artillery. What do you do? A, sit there and wait for them to attack you and blow the bejesus out of them. 2, advance down into the teeth of their attack as 2 separate battalions on their own. What do you do?
Given the choice, I'm going to select option A.
Yeah. That's what most people do. What did you do, Martin?
What do you do? Well, so behind that far hedge, that's all cavalry, and they came forward rattling their sabers at the French. So I put some of them into square, because I thought I'm going to do what I traditionally don't do. But I thought I've got to have one, so I'll bait. So I just march a young guard forward, completely unsupported, on their own, and then left to go around the rest of the show. But it was brilliant. But it was I love that game. I love the game. But I did message him. Yesterday and say, just because I thought I wanted to put it there, how did it go? He said they got shot to pieces in an utter bloodbath. I said, I'm sure that's what Napoleon would have wanted. He said it was carnage. So they got taken apart.
He looked at what you were doing and he went, "You're really going to advance down the hill?" And he just looked absolutely horror-struck by it.
I mean, the problem was, the thing was that they took the bait. The Austrians, they took the bait. It's just that the French didn't respond with the trap that they were meant to spring. So yeah, I just say that the guard had their own minds at it. But no, it was brilliant. It was a really, really good game. It really made me want to just play some more Soldiers of Napoleon, which I'm going to see if I can sort of poke Robin with a stick and make him do, because it's going to be really hard to convince him. And so we had a good game in that. And then I was looking for you after we'd had a coffee and a chat with Mr. Hicks. And then I went to come and find you, and you were over on Dave Brown's table, weren't you, playing Vexillarius?
We were.
Yeah. And then I was just chatting to Dave Brown, and all of a sudden he threw me in charge of the central phalanx.
He basically gave you the entire centre phalanx.
yeah, which all of this lot here. And then so much. And I really enjoyed it, and that sort of how we'll talk about it today. I can be a bit cagey. I really enjoyed it. Plus, he had these beautiful forged in battle minis, which then you and I went and started looking at the forged.
We were remarkably trained at that point, I think.
I haven't been. Well, I decided that people needed something to buy me for Christmas. So
that's on your Christmas list.
But that was a fantastic game. I say game. We played just a couple of rounds, and it was great fun, brilliant fun. And just just good. And so yeah,
that surprised you because I know you love a big battle, but that's very different to the sort of big battles you would normally play out.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's different to the sort like to the mass battles that I play, because I play stuff in 15s. Obviously big a bit, but it's a very different type of. Obviously, the way it's the turn is structured,
are very different.
And the mechanics. But obviously, I'm not going to say it's obviously got that GDA feel. I don't personally play a lot of GDA. I think actually I've only ever played 2 games of GDA, but I wasn't. I wasn't taken with it, but it was just with my friends. I don't think that they enjoyed it as much. So it's the simplicity that you get with Black Powder or something like that. Whereas GDA gives a much more. I don't want to use the word simulation, but I would say the result is more of a feel of a Napoleonic battle or a Black Powder battle. This I thought this it just worked really well. Really enjoyed it. Hate the fact that I enjoyed it. The man's gonna have to answer to Haley, I think, because he's the reason she's not going to get a very expensive Christmas present. But yeah, that was it. So that was sort of my war game account, and yeah, there should be that pillage battle report should be out in the next few days, along with a bunch of other stuff. So, what about you, Dom? What have you been doing?
Yeah, well, apart from we're all described there with the warfare stuff, which I thought was great. Really, I love that show. It's such a good show. Always fun. Yeah, as you say, we had a game of no, we didn't have pillage. We played Baron War on Friday night.
Well, we bought pillage. I bought pillage with me in case we had time, but yeah, that didn't happen. We were chatting a lot of rubbish.
There was a lot of talk between the turns. We played 5 turns. That's all we played. But it seemed to go on a long time. Again, my footage I've got from that game is quite considerable. It's going to be interesting to edit that one down, especially to get rid of most of the conversation. There you go. Especially all the weird beers that you made me drink that night.
I did channel my inner Steve. I normally when I come and see you, I bring nice beer.
That marshmallow one looked really interesting.
It was revolting. Only way to put it. Even Martin took one. I think he was trying to say it's nice, and then he took one gulp and went, yeah, maybe
the first sip. The problem is it doesn't taste how it smells. It smells like what it says, which is chocolate marshmallow biscuit stout or whatever it was. It tastes like shit. I can't think of it.
I don't go quite that far, but it. I
can't remember what I said. Oh, that's it. I said it tasted like concentrated disappointment. It doesn't taste. Exactly it doesn't taste as nice as it smells. And the other problem is, once Dom said this smells like a weird Lynx aftershave, I couldn't get that out. But like one of these one-off aftershaves that they sell, like cookie dough or something like that. I couldn't get it out of my head. So there was that one. But we did have the Kingslayer. That was the double IPA.
Yeah.
That was all right. I gave you with the berry punch beer. That I don't mind that one too much, but you were like no. And then there was the watermelon one, which
I mean, that
I regret
no. Yeah, I'm with you, Don. I prefer beer-flavored beer and denounce it.
Yeah, so do I. I wanted to see what Steve was getting out of it that I didn't, and I thought Dom could come along for the journey. I regret taking him on that journey.
I regret you taking me on that journey. Good news though, Martin. Steph says that I think he heard Haley says that CrackCon she desperately wanted 2 15mm ancient.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, I tell you what. All right, then we'll look. I'll let this go because I'm very, very taken with Macedonians. I've got a real hankering to do Macedonians. What do people think the other one should be? Obviously, bear in mind that Haley would probably control them. Will ancient army that Macedon can lose against? Do you think is best to pick say other than other Macedonians?
Yes, I think a good Indian elephant army would be fun. You can see her rampaging through your figures with her elephants. I think that'd be great. Yeah, there you go. Lionheart said that. Indians. There you go. No, not even Romans. They're boring.
No more Romans. I've got Romans coming. I've got Romans everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a good game. So a couple of I have recorded it, but just in lieu of that, some pictures from the game. This is
that was the central bit, wasn't it?
This was right in the center of the. So it was a raid. Basically, I set up a village scene without knowing how we were going to play it. We both had 750 points worth of Baron War figures, and we randomly decided on the scenario and the deployment, and it turned out to be raiding to get up to 7
objectives.
Points. Objectives, sorry.
But if anyone owns 4 at the end of a turn, they win outright. But that's obviously one of the things I like about the Baron's War is you set the table up how you want to set it up, and then you roll the objective, and then you roll the deployment zones. And we got very traditional deployment just off the back edges, but you could have ended up like in corners or so. And I really like that. And that's look, there's Falk de Boer having a go at your knights.
Yeah, that was my he was vicious. He was vicious. He really was.
Was there much burning?
No,
I wouldn't have said there was a lot of burning. There was definitely a lot of dead peasants. Well, let's put it this way: in my army, and I won't ruin it because Dom's obviously going to put the video out. In my army I have basically really well trained, horrible people or peasants. So I've kind of got just two extreme ends. Whereas Dom's army, I would say, is a very all rounder. I think you've got lots of with some veterans in there. You've got a balanced army. And so now I had loads of dead peasants, but then my horrible knight. So I made let's just say I made a beeline for his knights because Mr. Falk de Boer is there in the middle at the back. He's got some horrible abilities because he's got the cruel. I gave him the cruelty ability, and it's great fun. It's great fun. Well, we had a great time, didn't we?
We had a good game. It was very good fun. It went down to the wire. I won't say the result, but it did go right to the wire. And I felt like I was holding on most of the game by my fingernails. But,
without giving anything away about obviously our options and choices like that, what do you think of crossbows?
Well, I liked my crossbows, but then I didn't charge with them into the center of the table like somebody else did.
I feel that I channeled my general in historical way that he would go. But also, at the time that they charged, I only needed that objective to win the game. And if you hadn't have done what you did to them, I would have won in like turn 2.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. He did go all out to win, and came a bit of a cropper with that unit. Anyway, the rest of them kicked the snot out of me.
Well, not my peasants. My peasants didn't. My peasants did a really good impression of the marathon, just in the wrong direction.
Shring, you may have missed at the beginning. StreamYard had a new option, and I tried it, and I'm not going to try it again. It created 2 streams, one in vertical and one in horizontal. So if you're on the wrong one, go looking. There'll be the other one somewhere. For some reason, it's set it up twice.
But does that mean that if people open 2 tabs, that you'll get double the revenue?
I don't know. There's a thought. I'll let you know.
And also, how do the lights work? Are they separate video? Surely
no, it's well. I don't know. There's a whole vision. I don't know.
When I check,
I agree, Road Trooper. You never cross the streams.
No, don't cross the stream. I've got 2 notifications on my phone that we're live, but when I went onto YouTube, I could only see the crushed condensed. So it reminds me of Phantasm. Nobody crushed people into those little things.
Yeah,
that's what I don't know. For some reason, it just reminds me of that.
PSP, yeah. We
apparently there's 2 different chats. This is like back to season 1 when we had 4.
Well, there are 2 different chats, but we can see only one here, so I don't know.
There can be only.
Apologies, we won't do it again. It was
we shit.
All right, I won't do it again. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so that's why that is. So apologies if you're caught on the wrong one. Go and look for the other one. It's my fault. It's ironic doing a stream about being traditionalist, and I went and did something really madcap. Dear, oh dear.
Anyway, technology sucks, man. It really does.
I just thought it might be interesting if people do watch on their, like the modern kids do with their they look on their phones. You can always tell when it's old folks versus new folks, can't you, with the pictures. No, I go.
Oh, that's brilliant.
What I got painted, I showed these on the Facebook page, but I'll show them again because that's what I got done. I did some Templars for Baron Wars. So I was actually, before Martin came, I was having a clear up and sorting out figures, and I've also trying to find some to sell on and what have you. And I found my what was left of my Footsore Kickstarter figures for the first Baron War version, which was for Outremer. These were, and they're all metal figures, and I pulled them out. Thought, right, they're too good to not be painted, so I painted them up. So I did the knights that way in their white surcoats with the crosses. I do like that hard bugger. I was going to use them against you, but then I don't know. I chickened out. I thought they were going to be too many points. And I did some of their sergeants in the
I like that one there with the upside down shield. I like that.
Upside down shield. Yeah.
That's a very, very traditional figure. All the Baron's War videos I've been watching, I think everyone has painted at least that miniature once.
Yeah, I think so too. Really, really nice. So I did those. I was quite pleased with that. And then there was also a Turkopol scout type figure, so I did him just because I had him out, so I might as well paint him. I've got some more to do, so it's quite nice to finish off.
Yeah.
And then I just because I had a bit of spare time, I thought I'd paint up some more Confederate infantry. So in ragtag unit that I can use for shot practice, individually based as opposed to all the mass-based ones I've got. So just because I've got so many of these periplastics made up and ready to go, I thought I'd paint them up and get them done. So there you go.
Nice.
That's what I've been doing, which has been fun. Oh, thank you, Wardrobe. Very nice of you. Super chat thingy. I think you've done it on both streams. How the hell have you done that? It's very, very good of you, but thank you very much indeed. So there you go. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of days, and it was good fun. I have to say, Warfare was brilliant. I have got a video coming out tomorrow with my stash, and also I didn't go quite as mad as Martin. But I did buy a few.
Not that mad. I did buy some Baron's War stuff, actually. I forgot about that. And I bought a book about Warwick that I've been looking for a while. So
there you go. There you go. So you did go mad. So right, let's get on to tonight's topic then, shall we? Traditionalists. So this is all Martin's fault. This topic, because he was trying to convince me to play To the Strongest, and I'm interested in To the Strongest, but it's played on grids and it uses playing cards, and it's my fault entirely. I know it is, and it's just my contrary system, but I find it very difficult to focus on games that don't use sort of traditional approach, so D6s and non-square boards, that kind of thing. It feels like a board game almost, but it isn't. I know it isn't, and I can see the logic of it, but I always feel a little bit, oh no, I don't want to do it. So like Baron War I was put off by the fact it's a D10. Don't know why, but it just did. So I thought that would be an interesting thing to explore, how far down the line you're happy to go in terms of trying something different, trying something new, bending the rules a bit, doing something different, not only from the gaming perspective, but also from your hobbying. So your painting, your modeling. Are you one that embraces new approaches at the drop of the hat, or do you take a bit of time to get around to it? So maybe we'll start with the painting side, because I think that's probably something that most people get into. So Steve, when something new comes on the scene in terms of things like, I don't know, Slapchop was one of the things that became a big thing. Contrast paints, all this sort of thing. Are you very fast to try them out, or are you the sort of person that just sort of suck it and see, wait for a bit?
Contrast, I didn't, because I don't don't prime in grey or white. I prime in brown. So it's not much good for me because it won't work. I did buy some, so I do have contrast paint. So I use Gulliman Flesh. I use that over a flesh, just a normal flesh tone. What else do we use? That's the main one. I've got black and white ones. I've got some army paints, speed paints as well. Because I thought they'd be good for painting Legions Imperialis that was painted a couple of years back, and I just did not get along with them at all. I don't know, just something about them. I just prefer to stick with normal paints, normal washes. But never let it be said that I won't give something a go. I own 3 airbrushes and they're all in pieces. So it's not like I won't try an airbrush. I've tried airbrushes quite a lot. One, I don't get along with them. 2, the compressor I've got is so loud. I think my neighbours probably think I'm on some kind of special watch list for massive deviancy. And I just found the whole upkeep and washing and dismantling. Once I'd broken the 3rd one, I was like, you know what, Steve, you better stop this because you're just going through money and you're just breaking your airbrushes. So don't even bother. So no airbrushes, tried them. Speed paints, tried them. Contrast. I've never tried slap top. It's just.
But are you the sort of person that you see? Because I know you watch a lot of painting videos of people doing different techniques and stuff. Do you sort of instantly, when you see somebody doing, not instantly, but when you see somebody doing a new technique that you hadn't thought of before or haven't used yourself, are you sort of inclined to have a play with it, or is it going to take quite a bit to persuade you?
I don't know. Like I said, slap chop never appealed to me. It just didn't. It's just not the way I paint. I don't. Like I said, I don't do zenithal. I don't prime in white. I don't do anything like that. So it wouldn't be much good for me. So I guess I'm kind of traditional and probably still using the same methods that I was using years ago. But I will try new things, and if I like them, I'll continue using them. Like so I used to be a massive advocate of Agrax Earthshade. Agrax Earthshade, Normal, Reichland Flesh Shade, all the other bits and pieces. I don't use them anymore. My washes are all Army Painter War Paints Fanatic range. I can't remember the last time I used a Citadel wash, mainly because every time I bought one and put it on a miniature, it ruined it. It was just drying in this awful gloss finish. I was just fed up of ruining miniatures. So I tried Vallejo washes for a while. I did they were okay, but wasn't so when I bought these last year, these War Paints Fanatics washes, I just thought these work so well, especially dark tone and strong tone. When I was at Phalanx in June, War Bases sell Army Painter paints and washes, and I ran over to try and get I was running out of strong tone, and everywhere I went, everybody was sold out of strong tone. I couldn't get a single one anywhere. It was ridiculous. It's like crack to some people. It really is. I don't know. I just go through stages where I'll start using different things, but I will change techniques. Like I say, years ago when I first started posting on social media and making videos, my painting method was block painting it and then drown the entire thing in Agrax Earthshade. Which I don't do anymore. I just can't bring myself to do that anymore. It's just not. It's something I've moved on from. It allowed me to paint lots of miniatures very quickly, but the quality wasn't great. So again, same with brushes. I'll change up my brushes if I see a good review of a new brush set or a brand I've never heard of. I'll check it out. I did my experiment a couple of years back with crap synthetic brushes.
I know. I remember that. Yeah.
Complete, not a total waste of money, and I will never use synthetic brushes ever again in my life. But again, it's just all about. Especially with the hobby, because I do more painting than gaming. So I like to try new techniques, new things. Camo patterns, for example, that's a recent thing for me, is that I've never been confident on camo, but I do like painting camouflage patterns now. So yeah, it's all about it. I mean, if you just did the same thing over and over again, it would just get boring. So just try new things, try new techniques. I mean, it's slap chop. I can understand. I mean, it looks really good. It just doesn't suit my style.
It doesn't fit your method.
No, but I can appreciate why people use it, and some of the results are really, really nice. So I can certainly understand why people do it.
Oh, John says, have you tried dip shade from Army?
No, that was you've tried the dip, haven't you?
I've done it as well. Yeah,
I used it a lot back in the ages ago when I was first getting back into the hobby and painting.
Didn't it take ages to dry?
It takes ages to dry. It stinks. Cleaning it. If you try and brush it, I mean, I was dunking them in with pliers and then pulling them out, and then of course inevitably you drop them in the can and have to go fishing for them, and they make a heck of a mess. But the effect is not bad if you can put up with all the smell and mess and everything else. I think people do paint them on, but then I found the problem with that it kills the brushes. But so you used it, haven't you?
Yeah, I used it. A lot of my early Napoleonics were all completed with dip. All my French and British were. I
think most people have been through some kind of dip approach at some point in their painting, haven't they?
Well, I remember a few months back I was talking about magic wash, which was clear floor polish. Yeah. I painted an entire Flames of War army in one day using magic wash. It was I don't know what the exact combination was. I used to mix it with like a with the paint, and it prevents osmosis, so it settles really well. But yeah, it was always clear floor polish, and I accidentally tasted it one time. It was bloody awful. But again, that was something I first heard about that on the Flames of War forums back in the mid 2000s, and straight away I was like, I need to test this because the results look really good. I knew that the local Tesco sold clear floor polish, so yeah, went out, bought some, tried it, and loved it. And I used it. I used it quite a lot actually. I painted I had a Sikh army for Flames of War, and I painted that with about 4 different paints using magic wash, and it really, really good.
I did. I tried out recently the new. I don't know if it's new actually, but it was new to me. Vallejo dip, or wash of some sort. It comes in a big tub, and actually that was pretty good. I quite like that. Particularly like the sepia. It's a bit like it's a bit like Agrax, but it's a little bit redder.
Right. Okay.
But it's I quite like that. Doesn't smell as much as Army Painter either, which is another big advantage. What about you, painting wise and modelling wise? Are you somebody that kind of is? Do you just develop your techniques or your equipment, or do you see something new and think, I must give that a go and try it out?
I don't think I ever say I must try that out. I basically wait until there's something that I think it will be applicable to. The reason that I tried to contrast paints is because of the horses, and because I hate it. I was like, that'll be the reason to try that. No, I guess if there's if there's a technique that someone comes out and sort of shows, then I'll wait until there's some. I won't rush out to buy a model to try it. I'll wait until I've got a model that it seems applicable to. Right. And then I'll try it on that. Same with paints. I'm not, I use chipping medium on those panthers that I hated painting, for example.
Oh yeah.
That had been out for I've watched plenty of painting videos and tutorials, and people either doing salt chipping or do themselves, and then this was the actual AK product. So I went and bought it. I thought, hey, I'll try it out and see what I think. I didn't rush out to buy something, just to do that. And it's the same with everything else. Like I use the contrast paints, but I use those very much in conjunction with everything else. So, but I still think there's a big thing to be said for traditional painting methods. I still dry brush quite a lot. I still work in triads and highlights. You know, I use the contrast paints to sort of create a base layer and control where the highlights are going to be, and then work up from that. I think they provide a brilliant base layer for skin, and then you can work your highlights onto, which is what I've tended to do. That being said, I think there's things obviously they aren't great at. So I don't do them. The whole slap chop Zenithal thing. I mean, I was Zenithal highlighting anyway, so that's not something that was particularly new to me. The whole slap chop, and the guy who made the video said, you know, this isn't a new technique. It's just underpainting. You know, he just called it slap chop because it was. You know, sort of a fun name, and then people went. Both sides, people just went slightly mental about it, either supporting or not. Sometimes I think they're good. I mean, I used it for the wild men that I did, and I put it on with. I thought it'd be a laugh because I found loads of those makeup sponges, and I was like, oh, here we go, it's an opportunity. I'll use these makeup sponges to do all the underpainting, and that was fun, and I've quite enjoyed that. I think they've come out all right, you know, but as I'm not layering stuff on with an airbrush to get, you know, these extra highlights. I mean, the technique I haven't tried yet, which I keep thinking about having a go at, is when you zenithal undercoat and underpaint your miniature, you paint the whole thing in speed paints, and you then come in with a dry brush and you put white or a light color. You dry brush it over it again on the focusing on the highlights, and then you go back over with the original with the contrast paint you use it. So let's say you did a blue, you then get that white, and that's meant to show the highlights. But I'm a bit terrified of painting white paint over the model that I've already painted, and it's a little bit like doing the doing the dip and that. You know, if you painted it all right, and then you dunk it, and then it's
the most terrifying thing when you see it sink into the dip and you think, oh God, what have I done?
Yeah. But it's the same with like the paint markers, right? So admittedly, I probably wouldn't have tried the paint markers if AK hadn't have sent them to me to have a look at and review. But I thought, I can see an application here for the epic miniatures, you know, little miniatures, you know, just getting spears done, which was fine. Obviously, the main application of the AK markers is vehicles, which is something that I don't really tend to do very often. So I sat there colouring in a little 15mm tank, which I actually thought came out pretty well, because I didn't know what the hell I was meant to sort of be doing with them. So again, I think they've got tools. I saw Big Lee's video a couple of weeks ago about paint pens. You know, get the speed paint pens, you got the AK pens, you got some other companies got pens, Army Painter, and I mean I've got the these play markers, and I don't really like the play marker ones. I don't like those. I think they're a bit weird. And I haven't tried the speed paint pen. But I sort of said, you know, because some people are going to get on with them, some people aren't. And sort of my comment was, you know, some people have reduced mobility in their hands, so we'll get on with them. But it's just another tool. Edge highlighting with them is easy. Highlighting on vehicles, just running that down. I mean, I've just sat here edge highlighting loads of barrels, but because you can't get the paint pen isn't the nib's too big for it. I've had to do it with a brush, and it's just annoying. But when I was doing the edge of the armor on those tanks, I went back in the few tanks that I own. I redid all the edge highlights with those markers, and painting buildings with them I thought was brilliant. So I think that traditionally with paints, I'd say I try not to forget traditional methods. And if I see a miniature and I think, you know, look, I'm going to do that with dry brushing because that's the best technique I can think of to do that, then I'll do it. I'm not going to forgo that just because. I mean, I had an airbrush, but I sacked it off because I was just like, I don't see that. At the moment, this is taking longer for me to airbrush this and airbrush these miniatures than it is for me to paint them. If I start, I don't know, next year, if I start painting more busts or more sort of bigger minis or space marines or something and want to get all those effects, and I'd buy one. I'd never say no. But right now it's not something. I mean, you know, Robin did those buildings for CrackCon. They were airbrushed. They look
were they
phenomenal? Okay. Yeah,
really
and then he airbrushed them, and then he went in and did highlights. And it probably took him half the amount of time it took me sitting there colouring it in with a pen. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an airbrush, and I do have one of those really cheap battery ones somewhere up there that I've never even got going, because frankly, it's even more than 3D printing. It scared the bejesus out of me of all the talk about him to clean it, and then Steve talking about his adventures with 3 different. I thought, no, I'm just not.
My caveat with that is you get what you paid for. They were cheap. They were really cheapy, crappy ones.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed, Dom, whenever you do painting videos, is the sheer range of different paint brands that you use.
I have zero brand loyalty. Absolutely zero.
No,
I'm a complete tart when it comes to paints. I really don't care. I mean, that's not quite true. There are some that I particularly like, particular colours more than anything else. I like AK Off-White. I think it's fantastic, and Deck Tan and things like that. So I'll always try and get those. Some of the there are particular colours I particularly will look for, but on the whole, I really have no loyalty at all to brand at all. So I'll grab whatever, and I think it's funny because I talk about being a bit of a traditionalist when it comes from talking about gaming and what have you, and I certainly am that way. But from a painting point of view, I'll do whatever. And I'm a sucker for somebody who says there's something new technique that will make it easy. Easy is a fantastic word for me when it comes to painting. Quick and easy.
Lying.
Yeah, they are all lying. The reality is that, it's like everything, you have to work through it and improve generally. But I mean, my techniques, I look back at some of the stuff I did when I first started the channel, even, let alone what I did back in the day before I was, first round of doing wargaming. My painting technique has changed just ridiculously. It's completely different, even down to undercoating. I only ever used to undercoat in grey. That was all I ever did. And now I find it really hard to use grey as an undercoat. I'm almost always using white, which I always hated as a colour. I'm sitting here dry brushing figures that were undercoated in black, getting them into building them back up to white. So that sort of thing, I'll try pretty much anything. When I heard about contrast paints, I leapt into them because I thought that's nice and easy. That's exactly what I need, something that will help me get through the figures quicker and get the job, have an effective job fairly quickly. So that's what I did. So same with the paint pens. I saw I can't remember which, you were talking about markers, and I thought, well, yeah, you can get those marker pens from the works and places like that.
Possibly,
tried those out, and they've been great. Never going to replace everything, but I'm definitely whatever I can find. If someone said there's a magic pen that will put down a whole lot of tartan, I'd have it. Take my money. Whatever.
I think we all would, to be fair.
Yeah. But then I've also said many times that if somebody manages to work out how to do a 3D printed model that paints it all as well at the same time, I'm all in on that. So it's not what I particularly love doing, painting. So that's probably why I'll take the route of least resistance. But certainly I've changed my techniques as I've developed and as I've played with different things, and I do, I wouldn't say necessarily test things. I don't do figure test paints or anything like that. But a bit like you, Martin, I'll see some technique or somebody's explaining how they paint something, and I go, oh, actually, I could do that with these figures, and I think that'll be perfect, and I'll give it a go. Sometimes I'll just leave it and never to go back to it, and sometimes I'll adapt to my normal technique. It's bizarre. I'm not consistent on the traditional bit at all. But yeah, I do like. I think at the end of the day, you need to find a way. You need to constantly be looking into how you do things and changing it, and looking improved techniques, because also the materials change, right? Don't they? I mean, when I started painting, it was all enamels, and so there was a limit to what you could do with enamels. I know people did some very clever stuff, but for the most average painter, it was not particularly user-friendly as a material. But then acrylics came along, much easier to use, and then speed paints and all the other stuff, and airbrushes and what have you. So yeah, big into changing it up. What about things like your gaming habits? As I mentioned, I'm kind of a bit of a Luddite at least my natural tendency is to be a Luddite. That's not to say I'm consistent again, but if it's something that's a bit different, something that I'm not used to, how many games does it take you to see somebody playing of a new system, a new rule set, a new what have you, that makes you go, yeah, I'll give that a go? Or are you all in immediately, Steve?
I think the quickest is, this will come as no surprise to anyone, so prime your drinks, everybody. It's probably Space Weirdos. I watched that. I saw Adam from Tabletop Minions do he has a series called Why I Like It, and he did Space Weirdos, and I watched the video and I was like, I need to play this game. I really, really need to play this game. So I went to War Games Vault and I bought the rules that afternoon, printed them out, and the next morning I was playing Space Weirdos. It was just ordinarily, it's like, I wouldn't consider it hype, but there was just something about the game struck me. It's like all these flashing bells. This really appeals to you, and it did, and it's to this day it remains one of my all-time favorite games. I absolutely love playing Space Weirdos. It's brilliant. But again,
what was it that made you just embrace that so quickly?
Everything. Like I said, my gaming habits have changed. So when I was younger, and I was playing the club in the early 90s, I was always the advocate for massive games. I didn't like small games. I wanted, if we were playing 40k, I wanted huge great big games of 40k. If we were playing Man of War, I wanted 6 fleets on the table at the same time. And you fast forward now, and the thought of running games that big, it just doesn't appeal to me. It really doesn't. So Space Weirdos had everything. It was small playing area, low figure count, really over the top sort of comic book style movement and combat, and it really did just appeal to me. And it just made me think back to actually the games that I used to play, the massive huge games of 40k. We used to play huge games, multi games of Necromunda, just big games. But these days my habits have changed. But like you said, how long does it take? Normally I wouldn't just jump in, because I've been burnt since then with jumping straight into or buying a rule book and thinking, oh, this is going to be really great, and then you read it and you think, nah, it's not really, is it? And never see the light of day ever again. Yes, I mean, that's how I've changed. So my gaming habits have certainly changed. The gaming style, size, etc., has certainly changed. I would consider myself more a skirmish gamer these days than an actual, all bells and whistles, massive, great big tabletop gamer. But yeah, that was my quickest investment in a game I think I've ever had.
What about you, Martin? You always strike me as somebody who, kind of does. You like what you like, and that doesn't mean you try something. You're quite happy to try different rule sets. Right? You get plenty of different rule sets, and you try them out. But there's a certain theme. You were talking about this weekend at trying out Vexalaris, and actually it sort of wasn't really the sort of game I would have thought that you would have been particularly into, but how much you enjoyed it. I mean, what does it take you to take on something new, or are you sort of a bit resistant?
I like to have a kind of a clear idea in mind of what I want a rule set to to do for me. I think it's a mistake to buy a rule set thinking that it's going to do everything that you want it to do. I think sometimes it's so like Midgard, for example, would be a really good example here. After having James on and seeing Midgard, watching the videos, and so, you know, I had a very clear mind. I was like, I want this for my Arthurian games, and I think it'll be brilliant for that. I know you can apply it to other systems and other ages, but I was like, this, I want to do Arthurian and heroic combat. Yeah, I get that. So I sort of knew, yes, this is the I like this. I didn't sort of. Whereas I think if I can think of a couple of times I've bought rule sets, sort of thinking, oh, well, I'll give these a go, not really with a direction. Does that make sense? Like, you know, like just, you know, you're just like, oh, and then, or just played them for the sake of them because my friends were playing them. Bolt action. And yes, and then sort of, you know, regretting my decision. That's actually a job. I've had some very funny games of bolt action. Though I would probably say I enjoyed Flames of War more than bolt action. So,
Benjamin's jumping up and down with glee for that.
I just remember the games. I remember my Flames of War games. I remember the fun because we played like we didn't do like we played scenarios, lovely campaign books. We had all, you know, we did some brilliant games, and I remember the setups and the we had one game where my friend had naval support, so he had a pond nearby where, because we were playing in his back garden, so he floated a battleship in his pond. I had this like, little battleship and he floated in his pond. He goes, there it is. There's my support. And I don't know. I just remember that kind of stuff. I know you can do that with any game, but I try. I would try anything. A bit like at Warfare. You know, I'm not going to say you know, I want to give it a go. You know, Robin's come up to me with games and gone, you know, should we try this? This might work, and you know, you know, this might not. So. But then I've always been happy to mod a game or house rule a game. Some people want to buy games and want a complete package and they don't want to have to do anything, and that's absolutely fine. But I often find that sometimes people don't like a rule set because it's not doing it the way they want them to do it, when you could quite easily add a rule in that does then do that. Yeah. Because that wasn't necessarily what the author was going for.
That does make me laugh when people say, oh, I don't like it because it doesn't allow you to do X. Well, why don't you make it do X then?
Yeah, but I also do understand the point when people say, I shouldn't have to do that. But then it depends what the author is going for. So, yeah, I find picking rule sets. I'm open to playing multiple games. I dislike people using and we've talked about this before, but streamlined. To me, streamlined has become a catchword for lack of content. To me, mass battle games are actually more abstract than skirmish games because there's more options in skirmish gaming. There's multiple things you're trying to do. You sneak around, you know, you have individual soldiers that you're trying to do. Whereas when you're doing a mass battle game, or you know, depending on what your you know, what level of mass battle game you're saying, if it's divisional, then you know you're happy to say that, you know, a couple of bases is 500 troops. And that, you know, a few buildings represent a town. You shouldn't really care about that, and your decisions on facings and that are a bit more abstract. You accept it, but in the skirmish gaming, you're like, the facing is important. Facings is always something for me in rules. It drives me nuts in mass battle games, and like these, you know, 500 guys, no one looks left.
You didn't see them to your left. What do you mean I didn't see them? I could see them there.
Yeah, in certain circumstances, obviously, you know, I'll be very generalizing and probably being a little bit facetious, but you know, whereas in skirmish gaming, like I could see that I think in Spectre, and I've looked at the rule book, and that there's a lot of options. You know, the things you can do, Bushido as well. There's lots of it. I think to me, if you had a game which kind of like knuckles it down, admittedly, one-page rules probably won't be for me. I'd give them a go, but they probably, I can tell you, they're probably not going to be my thing. Doesn't mean that they're not good. They're just not for me. But what about you? What's your
I mean, you know, I'm a notorious rule tart. I'll pretty much buy any set of rules, or at least try them out. Sometimes when I shouldn't. because I know it's not going to be right. I mean, I'm a bit like you. I will play pretty much anything, despite my participation, weird shit, whatever. I'll try it. I like games. I like playing war games of all different descriptions, so I will play them. Now, would I collect them is a different thing altogether. But I do have an annoying tendency of which I know I do, of just leaping in and seeing a new rule set, and if it's a period scale sort of set up in terms of company size battle brigade, whatever it is, and I'm interested in it, I'll probably think about buying the rules, or sometimes actually buy the rules, and then sometimes I'll come very unstuck with that. There's been a few examples. I won't mention the rules now, but I mean, there was one. Graham was on here earlier, and he showed a video of playing one of the new in rule sets, and after half an hour watching his video, I put it up on eBay and sold them.
That was what we were talking about, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. No reflection on
half an hour.
Literally half an hour watching his video. I just went, no, this isn't what I wanted.
I'll be honest with you, and if we're not naming the game, but I didn't even make it past the PDF because I got sent the PDF, and I didn't even reply. So I got sent the PDF and was like, "Are you interested?" And I meant to reply, but I just sort of I was like, I don't really know what to say, so I felt bad, but I was a bit like, no, it's okay, thank you very much. It's not really my kind of thing.
It's fine not to like everything. I just, there are rules that come out. I just think, oh, that sounds really promising, or I'll see somebody talking about them, or an ad for them, or whatever, or sometimes a game, and I just think, yeah, I really like the sound of that, and I'll give it a go. And I buy a lot of different rule sets, and I actually quite like reading rule sets just to see what they're doing, what different options they've got. But yeah, I've been burnt a few times on different rule sets and just get rid of them. And I think, but that doesn't mean I won't keep trying, because I just think, for me, much as I'm a traditionalist in many ways in wargaming, I do like to try different mechanics, different systems, different approaches with rules. And I think, it's fun to see how they work. Which is why, again, I'm complete contrary, because I see anything that's not a D6 and I go, oh, I'm not sure I like that. A grid game, oh, I'm not sure I like
that. It's amazing how similar wargaming rules to fruity beer is. I mean, yes, you had the occasional awful one that makes your face turn inside out, but you still keep buying weird beers. So
yeah.
The funny thing is I suppose it's always just to look at what the I suppose it's maybe looking a bit to what the designer is actually trying to achieve with those games. If we go back to talking about to the strongest, because that's the one that seems to
that's really what got me going here. Yeah.
Right. People talk about the grid. Well, you can buy the battle maps that don't have the grid on it.
True.
There you go. No grid. Use scenery. Done. You can use a D10 instead of using the cards.
Yeah.
So,
I know there's ways around these.
No. Do you remember what he said? He said it was actually Simon himself who said if you'd have told him that he'd have designed a game that was grid-based movement based on cards, he'd have told you to F off.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said he wrote it. But the funny thing is with the limitation, with what he was doing, which is, the linear warfare, or the, let's say the majority of the linear warfare, say the ancient period. So the way that the movement and positioning and things work into the strongest, for that very reason, because you are consigned by forwards, backwards, left, right, forces you to play in a way that the battles were fought. And that's the fun, the quite interesting thing about it. So games sometimes which are too open and give you too much choice, or I think, and sometimes that's when you end up with like a World, for example, what you guys have told me, a World War II game that just does not reflect World War II in any way whatsoever. But then but people say, I've just seen it. Carl says you're playing a board game with what? So what? What's wrong with board games?
Yeah,
it's just a board game. It's Hero Quest or that. I played a lot of RPGs with miniatures, and I use boards, but I don't think of them as board games.
No.
Yeah, I understand, and I understand exactly why he did the rule, and I'm absolutely making this very clear. I'm not having a go at to the strongest, because I think from everything I hear, it sounds a fantastic rule set, and I haven't actually played it. But I understand entirely why the approach is as it is. It's just there's something in my core that I see that, and I think I'm not sure I really like the idea of it, and I don't know why that is. It makes no sense, because I understand it, as you say, that kind of mass battle. It works as a grid, because that's how mass battle happened in classical times. They weren't troops running off in different directions, necessarily, not always anyway. So it's just bizarre, and so
it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the logic of why do you like certain things over other things, and then other things, it's like, I know I like cooked cheese, but I don't like raw cheese. What's the logic in that?
I don't want to have that conversation with you.
That's not what I'm not even going to go down that.
That was traumatizing. We were talking about it over dinner, and even his wife was. Elaine was like, "It's you odd person."
Yeah, just well, she's known me a long time, so she knows I'm not an odd person.
But yeah, I think I guess it all just comes down to, again, just the type of war gamer that you are, where where you're happy to draw the line, because ultimately they are still games. I guess.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, let's have a pause on this. Let's do a little bit of news, and then we can come back with. There's been lots of comments. Thank you for all that, and thank you, James, as well, for the little tip there. You didn't have to do that, mate. But thank you very much indeed. Let's do a bit of news, and then we'll come back and see what people have been saying about this. Shall we? I've got a surprise, people. Got a surprise.
Oh, yes.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I did a new thing.
Did a thing.
I did a thing. Even my basic editing managed that. Yeah, there you go. So we don't have to listen to that horrible thing that Ken created in about 5 seconds flat. Anyway, Martin, what have you seen? Anything exciting?
Well, we've got an item at the head of news. I know, Matt. I know. There's no typo in that one, so we've shaken 3 years of tradition. So I promised we'd put this at the head of the news. So Dom and I were having a coffee with Mr. Hicks. On Saturday at Warfare. And currently, if you nip over to Footsaw Miniatures, there's currently they're doing 4 for 3 on all of the packs of his halflings until the 30th. So all those beautiful halflings. You're looking for someone a bit different, a bit fun. You want something for sword weirdos, or you want a saga fantasy army, or you just want to, why would you not want these halflings? They're over there. So currently 4 for 3, which is awesome. You can make a whole division of goat cavalry. He was telling us about some ideas and that he had, and if he does what he's got planned, then I'm going to be spending money on these. It's so fun. It's such a brilliant idea. It was such a brilliant idea, and we were already it was great. So if you're interested in those, or if you want to support them, go over. Paul does Ace Sculpts, brilliant sculptor, and the halflings are like his little passion project. So go over there and support him. So 4 for 3. You picked up most of the stuff I picked up. The only thing I saw I didn't see you got this. So if you did, I apologize, but you can drop this up as well. Is of course Warlord kind of announced their Into the Valley of Death Crimean War supplement, which is interesting. They've released some army packs of their miniatures that they have at the moment, which is, I guess that kind of covers you. Then you could fill it out with other ranges. So there's all sorts of deals on there. So keep your eyes open for that. Obviously they've nicked. They've made definitely not Eddie from Iron Maiden. They're just chop his head off and put a skeleton head on it, and you can have the have the trooper there. I'm quite tempted just to get the model, just so I can do the trooper, and then put up an Instagram post with the trooper playing in the background. That's sort of where I am. But I also it's somewhat right. So I love Iron Maiden. I mean, look at the channel name. But like I was just thinking, there's so many characters from the Crimean War that they could have actually done like a historical miniature of. We could even have done like a Florence Nightingale, or something. So I was quite surprised. I mean, I think it's a nice sculpt. I think it's cool. I think obviously if you know the trooper artwork, then they kind of got it bang on without actually infringing any copyright by making him a zombie.
I also find it bizarre that it's called Into the Valley of Death, and yet they've done an infantryman, and all the pictures on the front are the Valley of the. I thought they'd do kind of a lancer or a hussar or something. But anyway, very odd.
Yeah.
But no, I love the
so anyway, that's out. Crimean War, something that I've read a lot about. I probably know more about the Crimean War than I do about it after Napoleonics. So it's something I guess I would like to game, but it's not on the horizon. But I am interested because all of their books have interesting rules in them and changes, and I like seeing them. And I think they're nice books because of course the books are each written by people who are passionate about that period. Yeah. So I'd be really interested to see what they got here. So that's literally all I saw that you haven't already posted up.
Sorry, mate. You got to be quicker. No, I like the look of it. I'm not sure whether it's a period I would game, but like you, I've said.
Sorry, he's just said I think Eddie is canon at this point. Eddie is canon to history. I think Eddie's more canon to history. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by it. I like the figure. I think the figure looks amazing. Like you, I think I'd be tempted just to pick that up. But I don't know. Not sure. We'll see. Who knows? What else have I found? There's a new supplement out for Lion Rampant, which is called Viking Blood Feud, which will interest those who are into that. I'm sure Don and others are very excited by that. It's available pretty much now from North Star. Eventually that out. Also, I know Rich at Lardy's has been working on this new Chain of Command campaign book, which is called At the Sharp End 2. I think that's been holding his attention quite a long time, and I think it's out imminently. So that's for those of. I'm trying to stick a shield and I'm letting go. So that's interesting for everybody. The one that got my attention, I'm sure others on here also were likewise interested, is Wargames Atlantic's next grand battle scale, which is due out very imminently. They're doing Agincourt, which we knew was coming, but the new box set. Well, they've got two box sets coming. One is the English Army, 708 10mm figures. How do you fancy that one, Steve?
That sounds really nice, actually. I have been looking forward to this. I spent a lot of time painting those 10mm fantasy last year.
Yeah.
10mm historicals does sound quite nice.
It'd be interesting at that scale. I think it would be a very interesting game. So there's also the French, obviously. Also, they get slightly more figures because they cheat as they're French. 723.
But they've got those really nice Genoese crossbowmen.
They have. They do look amazing. They really do look good. So out imminently. I think they've said the production's already underway, or they've already got them in the country. So should be going out fairly soon, which is interesting. Look forward to seeing what they look like. Which was the other one I saw? This one. It's very difficult to see on the with the new version.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very difficult to see what's coming up. I think we talked about these already, but Victrix's medieval loot box. So
yes,
that's out if you're interested for all your pillaging stuff and what have you. Martin will probably set fire to it, that kind of stuff. So that's available.
This one's, I imagine this will be one of their smaller sets like the sacks and the barrels, so it'll just be like an add-on. So yeah, some church loot. I really like it that they got all the icons and stuff in there though, so really good. But especially if you just want to bring something to just add a little bit more to your buildings in games, I think they're quite cool. And also useful for a lot of time periods.
Yeah, excellent. James wants to know, he's looking forward to the Victrix firewood set. I think everything that Martin plays is sets fire is firewood.
You're going to really like this battle report then.
Also, again, a bit different. Gringo have a whole load of North American animals for their Apache Comanche. Oh my God, I can't speak. Rules. So they've got buffaloes and wildcats and all sorts of other things, which is a nice way of colouring up the table, having some different things on the table. I guess also they could feature in the battles if you wish to. Don't know whether you saw at Warfare, Martin, but there was a big scale buffalo game being played.
No, I didn't.
It was, don't know what scale it was. I think it was about 54 mil, but there were some big ass buffaloes heading down the table and some Native Americans trying to stop them. It was getting very entertaining, a lot of shouting, a lot of excitement with that game. This one got me interested, even though I don't do Romans. This early Imperial Roman tuxedo from tuxedo from tuxedo from Warlord on the pre-order, which just looks amazing.
Is that just the old one?
No, I think it's new. It's resin.
No, that's the old one. It's a re-release of the old one, I think.
Oh, is it a re-release? Oh, right. Sorry, I thought that was completely new. I love that.
Or is it? I don't know. I thought I read somewhere that they were reintroducing it.
Well, it's under pre-order, so it must be. Well, it could
that's
be
the old. No, that's. I'm sure that's the old one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Strike that then. I think that was it.
I mean, maybe it's not. I would have preferred it if they'd done like a Caesarian one.
Yeah, true.
Considering all that, the last two releases, you have Caesar's Gallic Wars, and then the Pyrrhic stuff is all the Late Republic. So that would have fitted in.
Would have been
but
nice,
then yeah.
Well, yeah. So there you go. I think that's everything we saw. So I saw. So if you saw anything else, let us know in the chat if we missed anything.
Oh, I just remembered something. I saw it on Instagram, so I couldn't be bothered getting any pictures. Menoth is coming back for War Machine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
So it'll be interesting to see what the new incarnations of the Menoth Jacks look like.
Yeah, they were always because they're the religious.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. So okay, that'll be interesting. Yeah, okay, that'll be. That was one of my friends was those, and they always. I just remembered that obviously the more you killed or the more wounds they took, they get harder.
Yeah. I didn't like playing. My mate had Kador and Menoth, and I never liked playing against his Menoth.
Ah, yeah, that's what my mate had. Like I said, I've still got his Kador somewhere. But I had Signar. So
right, I had Signar and Cricks.
Cricks were fun, but their jacks are all really, really squishy.
Yeah, I just took. I like the Revenant crew. Can't go wrong with some undead pirates. Sorry, Dom.
I've no idea what you're talking about, but it's fine. It's all good. Absolutely fine. Most of the time, so that's all good. That's interesting. Robert says Perry are miniature set of ACW Lancers supposed to be coming out for the Rebs. Okay.
Are they?
Interesting. Not heard that. Not seen that. So it'd be interesting to see whether they do that. So there you go. It seems like the Romans were a re-release, so apologies for that. See, but it looks nice. I still like the look of it, even though I don't do Romans. Although I've just been dry brushing a whole lot of Romans. There you go. No consistency here.
You're so untraditional.
Very, very untraditional.
So untraditional. Absolutely. Right. Let's have a look at what people were talking about. So, a reminder just about traditional and how you approach games, because I recognise I'm not very consistent on this, but I do definitely have. I don't know. It's just something about it. If it's a game that doesn't run how I imagine it's going to run, it takes me a little bit longer to embrace it. Even though I will give pretty much anything a go within reason, even Space Weirdos. So Alex says, never understood this. It's like a board game attitude to gridded games. Board games are good. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not.
Yay.
I'm not saying they're not.
I think it's. I think that was. I think that's obviously just general comment, because I think and they're quite rightly. Some people absolutely are on the same page. They just can't see a Greek. Nope.
I don't know. It just, for me, because of the background of, I guess it's just what you're used to, isn't it? And I played lots of Squad Leader and Third Reich board games and various other Avalon Hill games. So I played lots of board games, but then Squad Leader was hexagon, so I guess maybe that's why I didn't like grids. I don't know, but I don't know. It's just I will give it a go. I will definitely give it a go. But and as I say, I recognise my inconsistency that I love Sharp Practice as a game, and that uses cards to activate. I like Muskets and Tomahawks. I played at CrackCon Congo, and that's card activated. I loved it. Great fun.
You play Saga. That's got as dice activation, but it's an activation system. What placement system, isn't it?
Yeah. See, that's an odd one. But then I get away with that because it's dice, and they're sort of six-sided, so it's fine.
They're sort of six-sided.
Well, they are six-sided. They've just got funny faces on them, haven't they? James says, I wasn't sure about grids at first, but some games it just works. Mantic Halo games brilliant for them. Yeah, absolutely. I get that.
It just depends on what you're trying to do.
It does. Wardrobes with me says, squares on boards, not a fan. I play hex and counter board games. I play hex squares on paper and wide open boards for minis. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I don't know. It just, for some reason, it just doesn't. But I understand entirely the logic of, particularly for the strongest, the sort of grid-based approach. It works. Completely understand it, and it makes perfect sense. And doesn't mean I won't play it, but I do. Double Dip says, I like using different dice. Got a rule set that uses D4s, D6s, D8s, D10s, and D12s, depending on how skilled your warrior is.
Space weirdos, that.
Yeah.
I quite like games where you have progressive dice. I do.
Do you?
I think they can be. They're a good way of reflecting skills. So if you said something, for example, that, I don't know, say 4 up is a success, but a badly trained unit has only got a skill of D4, a standard unit's got D6, and then an elite unit's got a D8, and you have a static success number. All you're changing is that instead of instead of adding -1 to hit, +1 to hit, +2 to hit, whatever, you're just modifying the dice level. There's a few games that do that. There's an RPG that I used to play, and it's just dropped out of my head. But it's a pulpy one, and that does the same thing with your stats. You either D4, D6, D8, depending on your abilities. Which I think it's quite cool.
That's Space Weirdos. If you've got a defense of D6, you're behind cover. Your defense becomes D8. It's just really, really simple.
I think it's weird because I think it's a clever system, and I've played some games where it does similar thing. Different dice needed in different scenarios. I started out life playing D&D, and that has lots of D20s and D100s and all that kind of stuff. D8s and God knows what, because each weapon had a different dice factor, didn't it? From what I remember, dimness. So I understand it, and I don't mind that particularly. But I think because I have this weird thing about dice, and I kind of get to know how dice. Now people will laugh at me more than they do already. but I'm sure there may be some other people like this in the chat. But I have certain sets of dice that I feel will throw high, and certain sets of dice that will throw low. Of course, they're exactly the same statistical probability. There are certain dice that I just feel to my core that if I pick out this set, they're going to roll low. I have no idea how my D10s and 20s are going to roll. Absolutely none at all. And so I think that's part of the reason why I get a bit fed up. I don't like different types of dice because if I'm playing Black Powder and I know that I need to roll low, I'll use one set of dice and then I'll swap over to much to annoyance and use another set for disordering and firing. So I just think it feels really weird. Absolutely no logic at all, but D6s just feel familiar to me for playing most games, and so I don't know, something about it. I have to say, we've been playing a bit of Baron Wars at the club, and that uses obviously D10s as its main thing. And I thought for once I'm going to escape the horror that are Jonathan's devilish D6 Canadian dice that he rolls sixes all the time with. Only to discover he's even better with D10s. And they don't have Canadian faces to them. So it just drives me insane.
I've not used my CrackCon dice since the day that I bought them. I was so traumatized by the game that I used them in. I was playing against Rich at CrackCon.
Yeah.
And he thought they were cursed. He wouldn't allow them on his side of the table. He was like, keep them away from me. I don't want their taint rubbing off on my dice. Shocking rolling.
I know Martin loves to change dice all the time. So yeah, I mean, how do you feel about?
I'm getting better now. I'm getting better at not letting that trigger me as much as it usually does. What with dice? I don't give a toss. I guess. I have dice that I like for certain games, I guess. Like if I'm using my Romans, I'll use the dice with the Roman symbols on it. Just because that's that army. I've just got those dice, so I might as well use them for that army. But
do you think they roll better when they're the right dice?
You've seen how I roll. I don't care. I might be throwing dice out the window after every roll if I
That's
let
very
that
true.
Me. No, I don't care. I just have a lot of dice. I'm not particularly attached to any of them. I know obviously I have the ones that are using the battle reports, but obviously that's just yeah.
Robin says he has the same shit blue dice for every situation. Yeah,
he does. He absolutely does.
No, I don't know. It's just weird. Dice is just an odd thing for me. I do understand the logic, and I like the fact that the idea of the different dice. That's one of the things I like with having read the Badgers and Boroughs rules with that different dice, different size creatures and what have you. I understand. I think it's a really clever system. I don't dislike it entirely, as I say, it's not that I wouldn't play anything with anything different. It's just when I see something's got different dice, I kind of just makes me just sort of a little bit step back a bit from it. Just, we're not sure about that, but then I'll have a go with it and play it. But I do think it's because I'm just feel familiar with D6s.
What about games with completely, I'm going to use the B word, Martin, bespoke dice?
Oof, yeah.
So X-Wing, D8s with all different symbols. No numbers, just symbols.
I don't know how I feel about that. But if they're intrinsically D6, then it's like we're talking about with Saga. It's still D6s, isn't it? It's just that they've got shields or various things on different faces. So, yeah. I do remember having sets of different national dice for bolt action armies. And actually, they didn't work. So if I used my German dice for German army, they never worked. So I discarded them and got different ones, and then used the German dice with British army or something, and they work better. I don't know. I'm not saying there's logic here at all. There is zero. But it just gets me going. Let's have a look at some of the other things. Robin says, I bought speed and contrast paints. They just don't suit my style, even though I like some of the things I've done with them. Yeah, I think so too. I think I remember Alec down the club. I came down with. I think I was talking to him about contrast paints when they first came out, and he said, "Oh, I'm not sure about that." And then the next thing I know, he'd bought loads of them, and he kept saying, "I can't go back to anything else," because you love them or you hate them. But as you said, Steve, I think if your technique works, if your painting process works with them, then that's fine. But if it doesn't, then that's just another tool.
With contrast, with contrast or speed paints, I was never going to change my priming style just to use so many paints. It just wasn't.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. Didn't seem much investment in there for me.
Agreed. Lionheart says, I must admit, when it comes to painting, I'm a traditionalist. I like the idea of speed paints, but I've been using normal acrylics for so long and painting traditionally that I can't change my ways. That's fair enough. I completely understand.
But if you get the results that you want and you're not, then there's absolutely.
Why should you change?
There's no reason to change it. If you get the results you want that way, then perfect. Stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think, let's say I've definitely changed my painting technique, but I do appreciate when people use these sort of triad systems and, different ways of doing their painting that they've always used, and they get really, really good at it. But I remember Mad Sean, Metal Mercenary, talking about how he paints, and it's considering he's a commission painter, and I thought, blimey, it wasn't how I imagined he did everything really traditional and the sort of build up colors and what have you. Not a bit of it. He uses a lot of dry brushing and base coats and washes and what have you, and it's very effective. So it's whatever you're happy with. I think you find your process, you find your way. So I don't stick to things, but I continually adapt things, and then I'll go back to a process I used before for other things, and then I'll forget how it was I did with other figures, and then have to rediscover it. David said, I really enjoyed the addition of cards for historical flavour in Ruckus, and never mind the bill hooks, and I love Frostgrave's D20 system. I think cards to add flavour. I like that. As long as they don't completely derail the game. I think adding a bit of variability into the game, I think that's kind of fun.
I don't necessarily think it's got to be done with cards. You could just do it with dice and event tables. But I get I'm in favour of things that add flavour and stuff like that. But to any historical period, I don't like them when they're just there for sort of table dressing, if that makes sense. Just for the sake of it, with like no, intrinsic value. Like a big one with the Wars of the Roses is something that drives me crackers, and this is this idea that everyone was always changing sides. No, people were assholes, and people but there's actually not. There's only a few battles where there's a couple of people that actually swap sides in the middle of the battle. And there's a battle in Northampton. Warwick said that somebody did in the Second Battle of St. Albans, so that he didn't look like a shit commander. And there's no evidence whatsoever that this guy changed sides. And then obviously the big one is Bosworth. But then he never committed to the battle in the first place. So it's not like he swapped sides in the middle of the battle. He just committed later in the game. So I think it can be fun having those in, but those kind of big events, I like it if they're sort of more scenario driven rather than just like someone draws a card or rolls a dice and is like, your crack unit over there, they're now mine, and they really things like confusion and stuff. Yeah. But there's something just a little bit off. If that happened to me, I wouldn't be happy if someone drew out a card like that. It would annoy. It would really irritate me.
No, I understand that. I completely get that. I think it's like any of these sort of random event type things. It's getting the balance right in them. Sorry, my camera's wobbling. If they're too OTT, then I think you can spoil the game. But then again, a bit of sort of variability in the game doesn't half help. Makes it really good. Makes it interesting. It's just getting that balance right. What else we got here? David also said, I initially resisted speed paints, but Vallejo Express series has totally won me over for getting armies painted quicker. Yeah, I mean, it's so many different varieties. Funny enough, I don't find the Vallejo ones as I tend to use the GW speed paint or contrast paints. The other speed paints don't kind of work for me quite as well, but I think that's just because I've got more contrast paints. I've used them longer, so I'm kind of familiar with how they work. But it's just another tool in the toolbox, isn't it? James says, AK Deep Shade washes are really good. I'm a sucker for trying out new paint ranges and styles. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they came out. So again, I know I got sent those, but the reason I wanted to try those out was because they were a traditional wash. Everyone else at the time was doing speed paints. These aren't, and I think a lot of people bought them thinking they were speed paints. They're not. They are traditional washes, but what I like about them is they're quite low viscosity, so you can move them around. You know, all my bows and everything are done with this one here. Hazel brown is my go-to. So everyone, I keep on getting these comments saying, how do you do your arrows and your bows? Because I try to get that nice, fresh cut and then treated wood, so it's quite a nice light color, and it's just honestly it's just buff and then matte on it, and that's it. I don't do anything, and it's to me it's the sort of perfect mix. There was one of them that I've still not found a use for, which is this one, which is just called Green Dark. And I don't know, maybe I don't paint enough. I don't need stuff, but they're traditional washes.
Using goblins or something, maybe.
Well, obviously we were talking the other day, so that might maybe, who knows.
Yeah, there we go. Rogue says, I'm all about change. I went from enamels to acrylics, and that was enough for me. Oh, geez. Yeah. Don says, I'm not traditional at all. I don't think. I'm perfectly happy to play games with unpainted models. There, I said it. Wash your mouth out. Oh, dear. CJ says, I love the dip. Using a brush is a real game changer, but the White Spirit brush cleanup is a bit of a paint, cleaning up a bit of paint. Weirdly, I love the smell. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Probably not, CJ. I'm not going to lie. Probably not a good thing. He also said he thought AK pens would be a game changer for German camos on tanks. The green is brilliant, but I don't think any of the brown shades. I don't like any of the brown shades I've tried. Yeah, probably need to use your own ones on that. What else we got here? Matt says he swears by his airbrush. Learning to use it properly for miniature painting has revolutionized his painting. It means I can actually paint fast enough to make a profit now. Yeah, I really must give airbrushes a go, but I don't know.
Airbrush your claw.
Jeez. I don't know. It's more equipment, more stuff, isn't it? I don't know. I could spend it on plastic and metal rather than actually do that. Hobbybrush says, I'm all or nothing in everything I do. I was a full-time painter for 3 years before I admitted airbrushing was a thing. 15 years on, I wouldn't be without it. Pens I've been using for years and metallic markers. Yeah, it's funny how these things suddenly become a trendy thing, but then everyone goes, oh yeah, I've been using pens for ages. I was using pens, just marker pens for ages, just to sort of line shields and things like that. It works very nicely. In some ways, they work better than the paint ones because they're much finer nibs. So when you're doing small scale, it works really well. And he says, for games, he'll try anything so long as my toys go on the table and look pretty. That's a very good rule of thumb, that. A really good rule of thumb. What's John said? Boots on the table. I used to play Retinue by Tabletop Games. What rule system nowadays is sort of feeling a few knights, peasants, and others in 28mm for the Wars of the Roses or late medieval? I played Retinue. I've talked about it on here and showed the rules off. They are the most complicated rule set you're ever going to find for a skirmish game. But we had tremendous games playing them. Really, really good. But if you're looking for something that will play a bit quicker, that play that period really well, try Baron Wars. Works really nicely. I'm very into that at the moment. Not as complicated as Retinue, but it does have a bit of good. Retinue was extraordinary. You'd aim, and the different ranges, the penetration values would be different, and then location of hit, and then you had to assess whether the armor would save them or not.
Excellent.
Just went on forever, but it was kind of fun. Alex said, I enjoy reading rules, even if I have no intention of playing them. I'm interested to see the mechanics are in there.
Yeah. I do that with RPGs. I do that with role-playing games.
Yeah. I think it's good too. I think it's a really good thing. I mean, I buy lots of rule books for systems that I genuinely have no intention of playing, but I just like the look of the book. It's got some interesting reading material. Some you can get some really good ideas from campaigns and different scenarios as well that you can transition into other games you play if they've got them. I buy a lot of. Rarely ever play bolt action, but I always buy the books because I just think they're really good reads, and they got some interesting things in them. Yeah. Nathan said, I'd say it's subjective. There are some rules and rule books that I don't like or enjoy, and I'm glad they exist as it allows me to interact with different-minded people in the hobby. Yeah. Absolutely right. You probably start playing things that you don't want to play because there are other people around. Martin, you play a lot of games and different people all the time, but you find yourself almost, rule systems that you don't particularly like that you have to embrace.
Not at the moment. No, At the moment, we seem to be in a good little bunch of people that are all have very like-minded gaming. I'd be willing to try out things if they suggested something, then yeah, I'd absolutely try it out. Like Steve said, Martin, this place is Space Weirdos. I'm going to be in Bury St Edmunds because I'm going outside for the third time this year. And then I'd say yeah. No, I'm quite lucky. I do agree though. It is good to hear other perspectives on gaming. I guess I was just trying to think. There could be something actually in the not too distant future that I'm gonna try, which I'm what's the right word? Apprehensive, maybe about trying. But I'm willing to give it a go because I have a lot of people that come around mine to try games, so you should be open-minded. This is like the thing. I was playing Blood Bowl with unpainted minis. Go on, because my daughter wanted to play, so I'll absolutely try it. I actually really want to play a game in the old world. I really want to use my Dark Elves because I've still got them all. I've got the PDF that GW put out, so I have the book because someone gave it to me for the old world. So I've got no reason to not play it. I had some brilliant games of Warhammer Fantasy, so why not play it? I can't actually think of a reason not to. I probably had more fun playing Warhammer Fantasy than I did a certain World War II game, which I've already named. But it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I try it. Yeah, but yeah, we all seem to be on a bit of a similar page at the minute, so I'm quite lucky.
That's good.
Well, I think we are anyway. They could be talking in a different chat about me right now.
It could all be going on.
Let's string them along. We're gonna go have our secret game.
Yeah. I've got another supporter. Carl agrees with me. Said he agrees with me about gridded games. Always get the feeling I'm just playing a board game with models, not counters. Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think that's for me. I zero idea why it is, but it just doesn't.
Just take the grid off.
Martin, did you ever play any of Games Workshop's gridded board games like Armageddon?
I must have done. I think I did. Yeah, probably.
I used to. My mates got Armageddon. I always used to enjoy playing it, and they gave it they gave away a free game from White Dwarf in the 90s. It was all about the assault on the battle barge.
Oh no! I do remember. Yeah. No, I do remember.
Yeah, tile based. I thought they were really good.
Yeah. No, I do. I again, I just think it depends on what you're trying to achieve. The funny thing is some people will say, I really want a game that replicates ancient warfare, but I don't want to play on a grid, even though the grid simplifies movement. Movement phase is over very quickly, which is great, and it's abstract, but it forces you to fight in a way and line up in a way that you would, because you can still change your facings in the grid squares. There's some grid squares can be occupied by multiple units, things like that. But then it's like, no, but I don't want the grid. So it's almost like you want everything that goes with it, but just with the open movement. But then it's the movement in the game and the restriction of the grid that forces you to behave in these ways. It's such a weird thing to get your head around. I'm trying to see if there's another way you could do it that would remove the grid. But that's actually why I was quite interested in that Vexillarius, because they sort of achieved it in that, apart from on one of those flanks where there was all this sorts of weirdness going on.
Yeah, there's some odd things going on the other flank, wasn't there? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the other area we haven't really discussed, and we haven't really got time now, but we should maybe cover on another time. But Neil put in the comments on the Facebook page, he said, when I returned to wargaming during lockdown, I thought plastic figures, yuck, give me metal all day long. But now I'm a complete plastic convert. I can't remember the last time I bought metal. Fell in love with contrast paints and even bases and some tanks. Good man. Yeah, I mean, that sort of conversion over from metal to plastics, or, there's a lot of people, myself included, who kind of love metal over plastic. Although I fall in love with everything that Wargames Atlantic do. Just the quality of them is just phenomenal. Don't tell anybody, nobody's listening, are they? But I am beginning to feel myself fall towards the plastic over metal side of things. Just a little bit.
17th of November 2025, season 6 of the Plastic Crack podcast, and Dom wobbling.
Dom wobbled. Yeah, definitely. It is interesting, but I think that's just, again, it's. I still hate making the models, so I'm just going to stick there.
I will paint. I'll use metal miniatures, but it's going to sound really snobbish. They've got to be exceptionally good. So I'm talking Oath Swarm, so Burrows and Badgers. For me, they're the benchmark of metal miniatures that I paint. If they're not as good as that, I won't invest in them. Again,
I have absolutely no skin in it. I if it's a nice miniature, it's a nice miniature, and I don't really care what medium it's in. I don't know. That makes me odd.
Yeah, a little bit, but we're used to it. Red Staff says he feels he should have been an EastEnders drum then. True. Yeah, absolutely. Simon also made a good point in the comments. He said one advantage of being a member of a wargaming club is that you don't have to be traditional when it comes to games on your club meet. You can jump into other people's skirmish games, fantasy, sci-fi, and other weird shit, while still being more traditional leaning when it comes to be what you personally collect. Yeah, I think that's very true.
I would argue that the weird shit's more traditional than the historical.
Possibly.
I think we'll find that we're the
we're the outliers. I would still maintain that historical gaming has been going a lot longer than weird shit. If you go back to,
I wouldn't say it's about longevity. I'd just say it's about what's normal.
So you're not saying that Napoleonic drummers aren't weird shit? Come on.
Only when you put a tuft on it, mate.
They dress like they lost a bet.
And with that, the argument was won.
I think we'll move on. All right, we're coming towards the end, so let us do some of the pictures on the PCP Facebook page. Reminder, if you want to join that, please join. There's a link down below, or just hunt for the PCP on Facebook and answer the questions and come and join the community. We love seeing what everyone's doing, all the games they're playing, what they're working on. So just we try and show a few pictures each week of some of the selection of the huge diversity of figures that are out being done and projects being worked on amongst the community. So let's start with I love this figure that Darren was showing off. I like this figure as well. This is his favorite knight figure in the Victrix knight set, and he's done a really nice job with that.
He's just about to ruin someone's day, isn't he?
Somebody's not going to have a good day when he comes down with that chopper, is he? Definitely not. Steve was blaming Martin because he is now in Dead Man's Hand, and that's his first group.
Good choice. Good choice.
Which I think look really good indeed. They are nice models. Really nice.
They are.
Brilliant kit. Brilliant.
Yeah. I'll put this one in for you, Steve. This was Don.
I love fanatics.
They're fantastic. Just so much fun.
They're just insane. Amazing figures. Simon has gone absolutely bananas for Conflict. I think every day he seems to paint more and more figures and put them up on the thing. So that's his latest. I forget what that one is, but it's one of the Conflict weirdos. They look great. That's good. Working hard on them. Good stuff. Carl was showing off some more goblins, and apparently these were rescued from eBay and repainted up.
Nice.
So.
Speaking of traditional, they look traditional. They've got traditional
Very
written all
traditional,
over them. Very traditional.
Very much. Also, we've got, I like these. Paul was showing off, he's been working on 15mm French early war army.
Oh,
they're
lovely.
all 3D printed. So the Char B was one of the things he showed off. I did like the camo style he's done.
Yeah, it's the camo scheme's fantastic.
Yeah, really, really nice. Talking about little things, Benjamin is about to go off to do the Swedish Nationals, apparently. So he was getting some practice in with his Flames of War armies to get ready for that. So good luck for you.
I thought you were talking about Benjamin. I was like, he's not small. What are you on about? He's like still.
No, Benjamin.
It's just his size.
Yeah, there you go. You were talking about Flames of War earlier, so there you go.
No, nice. Nice.
Sholto was showing off his French Napoleonic gun crews. Look like the Victrix one to me.
Oh, nice.
Very nice indeed.
They are, I think.
Very nice indeed. Do like me a few gun crews. Edward was showing this. I have no idea what that is. It looks like something.
That's brilliant.
Jeez. Fantastic.
Cool.
Amazing figure. I thought of you when it came to this one. Pat, Spanish successor.
Yeah, nice.
British. I think they're British forces, aren't they? Can't remember. But there's a lot of detail on the cuffs and things on those. I don't know, just make me shiver. I'm not sure I could do them.
Yeah,
nice.
Really nice.
James has been working through a number of pulp fiction or pulp figures. So I love these ones. These are great.
They're brilliant.
Very, very good indeed. Very good. Oliver has been working through his epic pike and shot. These are Skipton's Regiment of Foot.
Okay. Oh, nice.
6th Regiment he's done, but it's taken him 2 years to do. So
it makes you feel any better. I've had mine for 2.5 years, and I've painted 1 regiment.
Oh, blimey! They are I must get on and do some more of those. I've got loads more to do. I've got plenty, but they're quite satisfying to finish. I quite like doing them. Neil has been working on. He's a man after my own heart. So he said he's building a Bactrian army for Wars of Successor, Alexandrian Successor period,
nice.
and so these are some of the peltasts for his force. I have a bit of a soft spot for the Bactrian forces, so they look really good. I did pick up a bag of these. These are Victrix miniatures. They were selling. Somebody was selling them on the Warfare Bring and Buy, and I picked up a bag of them quite cheap. So they'll be in my future at some point. And then finally, Ian has been working on his Russian Napoleonic force. So there's some Opal-Cheney.
Cool. I like the banner.
Defend Moscow from the French hordes. So yeah, really nice indeed. So there you go. There's a few of the many projects people are working on. We love seeing it all. We love seeing the games. We love seeing what you're working on and sharing all your projects to everybody in the community. So there we are. We are at time, gentlemen. It is 2 hours. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I enjoyed tonight. It's good to talk through.
Good chat.
I'm not consistent on my traditional approach, but it's nice to know that there's other people out there that are also likewise a bit weird about their habits around the gaming thing. So next week, who'll be with? Is it back with you?
With me.
Yep. Brilliant.
Hopefully with a more traditional setup.
Yeah, we'll avoid using that other button. Won't do that. Apologies if you ended up watching us all looking squashed like this. But that was my cock up. Sorry. Actually, it was the fact StreamYard gave the option, and it's like the big red button. Don't press this.
Every time you log in, there's new options. They've renamed stuff or introduced some new features.
They're always mucking around. But thank you for joining us, everybody. Really appreciate you spending on Monday nights, Monday daytimes, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world with us.
You're
really appreciate it. And have a really good week, and we will catch up with you all next week.
One thing to everybody who ordered stuff. We got all of the orders. Thank you very much. We have check your emails if you haven't paid, because the emails have all gone out, and the stuff has already started coming in. So we'll be starting to dispatch everything in the next week. Those of you who did order big bundles, we'll just have to wait till everything's in so we can send it out in one go. But yes, it's very awesome. So thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Super duper. Have a good week, everyone. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.